Hello everybody and welcome back to CorasTruth with another video. Thank you for joining us again. This is a safe place to accept your truth to change your future. Happy Sunday.
Hey,
So before we get started, if you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. And do comment because I do talk back.
yes, sir.
So today we're going to talk about something very, very relevant. We're going to talk about baby mama drama,
Ooh,
baby daddy drama, all of that. How to deal with it in a marriage, because that is something that everybody, mostly a lot of people have, children outside of each other, and it's something that happens. So I think it's something important to talk about. Would you agree?
I agree strongly.
Okay. So I think baby mama drama has been something that has been dealt with since the beginning of time. In Genesis, look at Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar. It was so bad that Abraham had to send Hagar away with their son
Mm,
for good, never to be seen again. So I think this is something that we dealt with time and time again. Um, in our situation, I have two baby daddies. He has two baby mamas.
two baby mamas.
Yes, he has two sons. We have two sons and two daughters.
Mm-hmm. And I have two daughters
Yes,
and two sons.
and two sons. Um, Good thing about it is we don't have to deal with anything from our baby daddies, so that's good. Um,
So you say, it can go in both ways now. Don't make it seem as if you neglecting the fact of just because you don't deal with it, it's still something emotionally attached to the children as well as with you. Just as vice versa with me. You know what I'm saying? Even though we don't deal with it, it's still something we have to deal with mentally because it was something we were scarred from in a past relationship. So when you say that, you know what I'm saying, you can't neglect the fact that once you did have a relationship with that person, two, that person always gonna feel as if they're still obligated to you with no regards of your significant other to a certain degree. I mean, that's what I could say I've been encountering because to a certain extent that it does affect both sides, you know what I'm saying, and as well as the child. So it does kind of put a hindrance on how I raise him, the things that I do. I'm still to both of them, excuse me, to all of them, to be exact. That I still show them the same respect. I still spend as much as quality time with them as I can. Be to the fact of some baby mamas don't like to acknowledge the fact that you do have a wife or a husband. Baby daddies don't like to acknowledge that you do have a husband and stuff like that. So it's just the point of knowing that how you deal with it and you're doing it respectfully and you're doing it to the point where you get your point across to the point where you don't have to go to court, or if you're already in a court situation, that you put all those things in context and you put it to the point where it's manageable for the both of you. You know what I'm saying? So you can deal with it as a whole. And the disrespect, the dislike, the back and forth, a maturity level has to grow somewhere in between there, because if you don't have a maturity level with that aspect, you're going to keep running to the same issues you had when you were single without anyone. So it's a big pickle to pick, but it's just something you have to deal with on a personal level, and make sure you keep God in it at all times, because without him things can go left. I should say. My 2 cents. I'm sorry.
so with
A little touchy subject, huh?
it is a very touchy subject because we're giving y'all the real. We deal with this in our marriage. Um, with my oldest daughter, father, he's not in the picture. She's 20, gonna be 21, so we don't have to deal, or I haven't dealt with him. So that's been a blessing, I guess. With my second daughter's father, he's in and out. pops up, whenever he feels like it or whatever. And for me, that's fine. I regardless, my child has to be raised, so I deal with that. She has to be raised, and I'm gonna do what I need to do as a mother. So when he wants to see her, we communicate about it and we move on. Ain't nothing to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Now with one of his son's mother, the youngest one, I think there's some understanding there. She understands, he's married, and to a certain extent, I think she respects that. That's the way it comes off in her actions. We don't hear a lot from her, and I think for me, what I get from her, she respects, us in our place, and I think she's married too. So she may have an
Oh,
understanding.
well, I believe she's engaged, so
Okay.
yeah, so she's dealing with that and stuff like that. Don't mean to put her business out, but I believe she's dealing with other things. But
His second baby, this last baby mama.
oh, you talking about the first baby mama? Oh yeah, the first
The
baby.
first one.
Oh no, the first one is not married and.
No, I know she ain't married because she bitter, and she takes us.
I didn't make her that way.
Well,
it's in the blood. It's in the bloodline. I don't know. I mean, I've been a stand-up gentleman, stand-up guy, the best I knew since we conceived our son. Been there, had my own apartment, had a whole lot of things going for myself. Worked 2 jobs at the time, and still taking care of my son. And she was in school. It was a young thing, being young and dumb. And my son came along. The most precious thing I could say that I had was my son was in the beginning because it held me down for a lot of things. It helped me to be a better man. It helped me to calm down in life. It helped me to respect a lot more things that I was going through. It made me look at life in a total different light. And with having that son, it really made me step up to be a man that I never had in my life. So when I go through the things that I go through with both my sons and their baby mothers, it kind of, it puts a damper on me. And it kind of, it's a little touchy, a little depressing at times because it's like, you knew my background. You knew who I was before I married my wife. And a lot of times it's like you don't have no regards for whatever we had, the situation we had and stuff like that. So it's just like, can I be a man to my child to be better him so he won't go through the mistakes that I went through to be where I'm at, well, to not be where I'm at. I'm not saying where I'm at now was bad, but just saying that the way I grew up, it was a little rough.
Be better.
It can be better, yes, exactly. So I look at that and I think everything and I pray every day to God and I just pray that they don't go the road that I took or take the road that I took. And I pray for that they don't. So I try to give them as much as guiding light I can. Especially with my oldest son. With my oldest son, I try to teach and tell and preach and do all the things to let him know that I'm there for him because the way, we all know, we living in 2021 and we all know how having children, having boys, and having just kids in general, it's a lot of evil out here. So just keeping my hands on them, all of them, really makes me feel as if I'm doing my job as a man, as a husband, and I don't want to be their friend, but I want to be a part of their friendship to where they can understand that hey, they can come to me, all of them, without an issue, without a problem, without hesitation. So
Yeah.
as you as well, you know what I'm saying. I want you to know that my sons come to you like your daughters come to me. That is no bias. There's no because it's already turmoil between the parents. So you know what I'm saying. I mean, like you said, you have a little less issues than I do, but with my issues, you know what I'm saying, with that comfort level and them understanding who you are as a person, that plays a big part and impact on them too, because it's like, hey, she does care about my feelings. She does care to see where I'm at. And I know it's been multiple times you can correct it, Corey, you guided him and did a lot of things with that, especially with Zachariah, even though he doesn't really be around as much, but Um,
I think it's important that because one thing we do want to show is that the love for the kids. We do not want kids to get involved in whatever the parents got going
right,
on.
right.
But it's one thing when it's like you said earlier, you have to be mature.
Mm-hmm.
And I think from my perspective, there's maturity on our part, but as in her perspective, there's not maturity. Whatever the case may be, she comes off as if she's bitter. And I think it takes effect on the child, which that is something that makes me upset because I don't want the child to have to experience what we're dealing with.
Right.
And he's getting older, and he listens, he knows, he can feel it. So that's what makes me upset. And in the end, the child suffers because of whatever we got going on.
Right, right.
And my thing is as much as I try to represent, I'm trying to, hold on to my faith right now. As much as I try to represent Christ in every situation, I ain't gonna lie, I don't represent Christ. And with her, she really takes me. And I was listening to something earlier, and it said, "He who angers you controls you." And I must say that there have been situations where I allowed her to control me, to get me out of character. But that's something that I'm so passionate about, as in, whatever you mad about, get over that.
Right. Ben should have been.
He's gone.
Right.
He's gone. He has left the same way that, even before I got with my husband, I had to get over my daughter's father because he moved on. And at that point, it just became, we got a co-parent. And that's what it was for me. I matured up and was like, we're done. We got to take care of our child. And he went his way. I went my way. I didn't buy. Matter of fact, me and his wife, we have a good relationship. She knows her place. I know my place. She knows how I feel about my child. I know how she should feel, how I feel about my child.
Right.
So I think that's the maturity in the situation. And as much as we are mature in it, and I try to be as much as I can be mature in it, there has to be a maturity level on her part. Right. But being that she's not giving that to us, that's where I have to humble myself.
Right.
Because I think it also takes a toll on you, because now you have to become the mediator between us, and you have to become whatever you need to be. And basically, we both getting on your nerves because now me and her going back and forth or whatever.
Right.
And I understand that position, and I try to take that in effect. But my thing is she doesn't come at me disrespectful per se. She comes at him disrespectful. Right. And there's some things that I don't play about. It's my husband, my children, my food, and my money. I don't play about none of them. And when you mess with one of them, it's on and popping. And I have no understanding, and I go to 0 to 100 real quick. Right. And that's where she takes me. And I'm trying to learn. Woo, Holy Ghost help me. I'm trying to learn how to not let that take effect in me, and to be like, you know what? Let me calm down. Let me let my husband handle that.
Right.
Because even if I snap back at her because she has made me upset because how she's talking to you,
right,
she's gonna come snap back at me, but she's still gonna be disrespectful to you. Right. So I have to know, let Chris handle that.
Right. And there's been multiple situations where I let stuff go because she says very demeaning stuff, and that it hurts my feelings, but it's to the point where it's like I can only expect it coming from her. So when I hear it, a lot of times she doesn't talk, she texts. So, you know what I'm saying? When she texts, you're trash, you're this, you're that.
And to me, y'all, I'm sorry, baby, but to me, that's a coward. Because you are brave behind a keyboard, but you're not brave when we're face to face. And that may be good, because if we face to face, I don't know what I may do. I ain't going to say too much, but what I may do. So maybe that's good, but that goes to show me, too, thank you, Holy Ghost, that don't get involved in that back and forth with her, because she is a coward. Take care of the child. Let the child be the main focus.
Right.
And
that's what I've been preaching in the beginning, and just leaving it at that point. Just continue to do what I'm doing on my part, legally and unlegally, still be a father. So, off the records, on the books, on child support, all child support, either way it goes, I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do, staying in guidelines. And I know sometimes your temper can get a little little high at times, but
Mm-hmm.
that's only because I know you care for me and you care for the situation that I am.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was vice versa, if I was in that situation with you, it would make me mad to the point where, a lot of guys don't do talking. You know what I'm saying? But I never had to encounter that with you. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to say what I would do because there's no point in saying what I would do or whatever the case may be because all
It's
that,
nothing there.
yeah, there's nothing there. So, you know what I'm saying? But on my part, I have to deal with her bitterness. I have to deal with her sourness and just, still remain humble, respectful as a man. That's one thing I try not to do. Try to call out a name. Try not to argue too much around him, not to, or my wife or my other kids, because it's like showing them the respect and showing them that, you know what I'm saying, showing them the respect, but still giving her what she wants to give, which is, fueled in my fire, which is pretty much making me act out of character to where I can't stay focused on what I'm doing. So,
Y'all, he too calm for me, and
well,
and that's a good thing. But he too calm for me because I be ready to pull up.
yeah,
Let's just be real. Let me be real. I love God, but I still got some hood in me, and I be ready to pull up.
and there's
And
some things we can't do.
I know,
Even though
but I be
it's,
ready to pull up.
it's just we try to back down from that and just even though you don't want to feel like you're soft in the situation or you withholding, sometimes don't give them what they want. Because if you give them what they want, all they're gonna do is run with it. Like you said, that's a coward move. Cowards do what cowards do. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? To make you react to counteract on other things that you don't need to be a part of. So you know what I'm saying, with the baby mama, the baby daddy drama, it's real. It's real out here, and especially when you try to do more for your kids. You try to let your kids know that you're there for them the most. You try to let your kids know, hey son, it's not me, but if you look over there to your left, it's that lady over there. But you know what I'm saying? It's just the point of just letting them know. And like she said, like my wife said, sooner or later they'll realize what's going on. They'll understand the situation. Um, more times than none. So it's just like you being there, understanding, just being there for your kids is the main, most important part, I should say. But we can tell, not to cut you off, baby, because I know you're supposed to go in, that this makes her blood boil a little bit. What'd you say? Make a blood vessel break? Bust. Sometimes, but yeah, that's a touchy subject. But the good things is, if you do have a good baby daddy mama, baby mama drama, or not even drama, if you have that good situation between that, that's a blessing. It's a blessing in itself because you can look at the good things in that because it's a good knit community where y'all can raise y'all kids without any hostile situations and stuff like that, which is love. That is what I would trade to have in my life right now. But if you got that, God bless you in that situation and God continue to touch you in that situation. If you hear this, pray for me a little harder, please. Please. I'm asking. Prayers and likes and subscriptions.
And even though I'm expressing myself here, there's a lot of times he do talk about what's going on, and I try to create a safe place for him to talk to me so that he knows that my wife at least listens to me. She's not gonna pop off every time. So I try to create that.
You do.
And humble myself and not get upset every time because I want him to be able to express that to me, and we could talk through it. And he needs a place too because he's angry too. So I have to calm down and just listen to him. But there are times where I just want to snap her neck. Like, really? Why don't say that? It's true though. I would never do that, but it's how I feel sometimes. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No,
but that's how I feel. No, I would never do that. But it's very harsh, hard, difficult, because I've never had to deal with baby mama drama. Never had to deal with that before. And I don't like drama. I don't like confusion. I don't like back and forth. I just don't.
Right.
And it seems like when it comes to her, you have to have a tight lip. I'm talking about it takes the Holy Spirit himself, basically. It's like he got a muzzle on my mouth when it comes to her. And it shouldn't be like that.
Right.
And in that, I was like, God, deal with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said in one of my videos, you cannot change the other person.
Right.
I can only deal with me, my emotions, my reactions, my tone, my responses. I can only deal with me. So in this, I look at it as that's the thorn in my side, and I'm going to have to learn how to deal with it, and in hopes that it would change my responses and how I react would change something in her, and that she'll see God in me and be like, you know what? I shouldn't have to take, not even me, him through this, their child through, not their child, our child through this. You know, because at the end of the day, I don't want Ja'Cory to have to deal with his stepmama on her side, his daddy, and then his mom.
Right.
I want us in front of them to co-parent, and whatever issues we have, we deal with that when we deal with it. But I definitely don't want Ja'Cory to have to deal with that part.
Right, and that's just like my main thing as well. It's just pretty much just letting them know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here for them by all costs. It's nothing behind that. I really hate that it comes to this because it really puts me through a whirlwind. But like you were saying, it actually does, you know, like you said, that thorn in your side. It's a lesson you can be learned from this, and that's probably by humbling yourself to the point where it's not really backing down, but just seeing some good where she could see some good and you could see some good, and probably come to a compromise as well as myself somewhere down the line. But right now it's kind of hard right now. It's kind of rough. But you comfort me a lot. You put me there. You let me know you're here. I know you don't like the disrespect from people coming from other people, especially when it comes to me. Is likewise is with you. So I understand that, and I thank you.
You're welcome. You don't play about you.
I know I'm gonna play about you.
Exactly.
Cause I talk back.
Comment. He's stupid. So with that said, y'all, we're gonna end it here because this is a very passionate subject for me.
Yeah, we gotta take a breather. It's nighttime, and we gotta get ready for work in the morning. And she need to wind down, guys.
So with that said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment because I do talk back. We love y'all. Happy Sunday. I hope something that we said is, help you to change your perspective and
just look at the bigger picture.
Right. Apply it to your life and make better decisions.
Yeah. God bless.
God bless. Have a good evening.